At ease, brothers. And the first thing I want to do, man, is apologize, man. I owe y'all an apology. And what I want to apologize for is I want to apologize because I understand now that a lot of things I say concerning spirituality or concerning, a person's belief, a person's avenue to God. I understand that a lot of things I've said in the past, whether it's talking about prayer, whether it's talking about what God or Jesus is, whether it's talking about crucifixion, I understand that a lot of things I've said now, man, that it hits people a certain way, and people are like offended by it. And I just want to apologize and say, brothers, anything I say concerning your belief is not to offend, right? So, but I have to speak my truth. You know what I'm saying? So I want to apologize if anybody has been offended by what I say. But you got to understand something, man. And this is really what I'm understanding now. You got to understand that, or not you got to understand. Let me just tell you, I'm speaking from a different point of view. I'm speaking from a different point of view. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, like when I talk about vices, right? When I talk about vices, I say all vices, whether it's the bottle, whether it's the bud, whether it's the drink, whether it's the over-sexualized, it's all a person's desire to be closer to God. They're really looking for God in that vice, right? God is the drug of drugs. That's the ultimate drug that every single person is looking for. And you got to understand that even if a person isn't entertaining those areas of life, there's still some misdirection when it comes to the hierarchy straight to the plug. And I'm trying to say this a certain way. In other words, what I'm really saying is like a lot of times people will, let me say it like this, bro. When we're talking about that avenue to God, like a lot of people will work all week, and on the weekend, man, they want to have they want to have fun, they want to get high. And a lot of times what they're doing is they're going to church on Sundays to get that high, right? Because God is the drug of drugs, right? In other words, when you walk out of church and you've been, when you've been doing all that, jumping on pews and all that, like I'm not saying that's not God, because that is God. But you got to understand that's a high of God. Like you're getting the lowest form of the product. You're getting the crack rock of spirituality. You know what I'm saying? And when I say I'm speaking from a different perspective, you got to understand that I'm not speaking from that perspective. Like soul has no desire to get high. I have no desire to jump on church pews. I have no desire to run up and down aisles, and that's not even on my agenda. Like soul want to fuck with Pablo. I want to go to the coca fields. I want to walk with the plug. And not only understand what's really going on, I want to walk amongst the coca fields and say, you know what? This is why a certain thing is built like this. I want understanding. So you got to understand, man, if you take a guy that's been walking the coca fields with Pablo and you take a guy that's on the block smoking crack rock, there's going to be some differences in the way they see the work. They're talking about the same drug, but it's coming from a different perspective. So a lot of times when I say certain things and people get offended, it's not that I'm saying you're wrong or get offended. I'm saying understand that the drug that you're getting high on Sundays, understand that your religion is broken down, is washed up, is mixed, is cut. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that pure. So if something I say comes off as offensive, brother, just understand, man, I'm talking about the coca leaf. I'm talking about the conversations I've had with Pablo, is all I'm saying, brothers. And you got to understand this. This is what I'm coming to understand, brothers. A lot of times, religion, a lot of times that bottom of the barrel dose of God is actually keeping people from God. Because this is what I understand, man. And this is just me. I don't think like that desire that I have to walk the coca fields, like everybody doesn't have that desire. I understand. This is what I'm saying. And I'm not saying religion is bad, because I always be sure. I always make sure I add the statement that religion is a beautiful thing, right? But you got to understand, religion can either serve as a conduit to God, or it can be used as a shield. And I'm understanding now that the far majority of people that play the game of religion use it as a shield instead of it as a means to get closer to God. You know what I'm saying? They use it as a shield. And what I mean by that is, brother, and it hurts me when I say this. Like, I'm gonna tell you this. When you go to church this Sunday, man, and you walking down the aisle, getting ready to pay your tithes or getting ready to do whatever you're finna do, understand this. Understand that when you look to your left and you see all these holy people, and you look to your right and you see all these holy people shucking and jiving and all this stuff, understand that these are some of the darkest people on the planet. Understand that most of these people, not all, are some of the people that are living their lives behind the shield. In other words, they say, you know what? I've jacked up so bad. I don't want to get right. I don't want to walk the fields of with Pablo. I want to just be able to hide behind the blood of Jesus or whatever. I want to be able to hide behind the religion just to cover up not only who I used to be, but a lot of times who I still am. Brother, some of these deacons are the biggest whoremongers in your city, man. Some of these deacons are some of the biggest pimps in your city, bro. I promise you. Some of these women in the church, man, that's passing out the bread and passing out the wine and hey, let's have fellowship, are some of the biggest prostitutes in your city, bro. Not even prostitutes. Because they're not even charging for it. They're not even charging for it, bro. I promise you, man. A lot of people use that as I'm gonna tell you this, man. And I think I might have told y'all a piece of this before. Like a lot of people use that religion as a cover-up, man. I can remember this, man, real quick. I was in my 20s. I was in my 20s, man. Happily married, man. Not sure if my son wasn't born yet, you know. Life was good. House built, man. Nice car. You know, life was good, man. And on Saturdays, I was always either either cutting the grass or washing the cars. Like that's every Saturday. And there was a period in my life, man, where every single Saturday this lady would come through. She was a Jehovah's Witness, right? And I'm not crapping on Jehovah's Witness. I don't know enough about the religion, but this woman, man, she would come through. She would always have all white on. She would always have I guess a Bible or literature, you know, and she would come and talk. And I'm gonna tell you this, man, this woman was beautiful. She was a lot older than me. If I was in my 20s at the time, let's say if I was 27, 28, 29, say if I was somewhere in there. She had to be around 40. Oh my God, this woman was beautiful, man. Skin beautiful, hair beautiful. She was just bad. And I remember, man, she would come and when she would talk to me, man, and she would always kind of be modest and cover up and talking, you know, she would talk about the religion and sometimes we would have some good conversation. Sometimes we go back and forth. It was just a good relationship. It was fun. It was fun to see her coming down the road on Saturdays, man. And I can remember just over time, man, like over maybe around the 5th or 6th time, like that wall began to crack on her. Like I began to slowly see another side of her, man. Like that guard was coming down, and I could really see her. And I can remember the last conversation her and I had. It was like the wall had fallen. And I'm not sitting there saying she was a bad person or she was this, but like a real side of her came out. Where really, if I wanted to capitalize on that and say, hey, you know what, let's just hook up, hey, meet me on the other side of town. My wife ain't got to know. If I was that type of guy, that last conversation would have been that. And I recognized it. I think she recognized it. And she said, hey, you know what? Going forward, I'm going to have, I think they call it the elders. I'm going to have the elders come talk to you. In other words, she said, you know what? This man has found his way through my force field like, you know, and I think she was a good woman, but I'm saying, let me just say it like this. I'll say it like this. All the Christian women I know moving a low vibration. All the Christian women I know have either cheated on their husbands or for the street or moving that kind of that low vibration. Am I saying all women? No, I'm not saying all women. I'm saying all the women I know moving that vibration, cheating, sleeping around, doing low vibrational things. You know what I'm saying? And I told myself a long time ago, I said, man, I would never date another religious woman. Like that was my code. Because I said most women, most people hide behind religion. Lo and behold, soul did it again. And lo and behold, soul, you know. But anyway, man, you have to understand a lot of people hide behind that, bro. Like a lot of deacons in your church, man. A lot of deacons in your church are moving a certain way. A lot of women in your church are really for the streets. And you got to understand, man, when you even see people, again, this is not all, brothers. Trust me, I'm not saying all. But when you see people that move in that energy and they thump that Bible real hard, meaning they want so much of their identity to be tied to that religion, brother, I put this on everything. Run. I put this on everything, man. When you meet a woman that thumps that Bible hard, oh, this is the God and God. She for the motherfucking streets. I promise you. I promise you, bro. I fucking promise you, man. The thing is this, man. Like you have to understand, and I'm not telling people to abandon religion, but you have to understand that what you're getting is cut. And you really don't want to stand on what's cut, because when you stand on what's cut after a certain time, even though you're standing on it, once you really start to understand what it is, you'll begin to hide behind it. You'll begin to hide up under it, and you'll start conducting yourself, understanding that, hey, you know what? I can move a certain way. I can do a certain thing, but pastor told me that, you know what? Me moving like this, like it's all covered. The fact that I'm doing this and I come to church on Sundays and tap dance and go back Monday through Friday and do this, it's covered because pastor said it was. Pastor is setting you up for failure. Pastor is setting you up for failure. There is nothing that you do that you're not accountable for. I'm going to say it again. There is nothing that you can do. There's nothing that you can do that somebody in the future has covered for you. It don't exist. And the fact that it doesn't exist is in the same Bible. There's somewhere in the Bible that says, hey, you know what? Every man is accountable for his own shit. And I'm going to tell you, when you know you're accountable for your own shit, you move different. You move different. When you don't live up under that umbrella as if it's all covered, and you say, you know what? Every single thing I do, every single thing I say, every single way I treat a person is gonna be a conversation between me and Pablo at some point in time. You move different. I even think about back when I was heavy in religion, not as an adult in my 20s, but as a teenager. Brother, I would leave church as a young teenager. I would leave church high as hell on Sundays and go and mess with one woman and go and talk to my girlfriend, and the next weekend go mess with another woman, and the next weekend go get high and get drunk and go to the club and act crazy. And on Sunday, I'm back at the club. It's bullshit, man. And all I'm saying is don't let religion keep you from the plug. Not saying don't participate in religion, but understand there's a different way of, like yesterday, when I talk about that light. Maybe that light is in everybody. Maybe that light is always in everybody. I don't know. But maybe that light isn't identified or activated until you bypass a lot of things. I'm not saying don't participate, but if you bypass and go straight to the coca fields, maybe that's where that light is identified. And I'm telling you this, brothers, there is no greater feeling. There is no greater feeling than walking in that light. It's a difference because once you get that light, you don't have to get high. It's like you stay high. You know what I'm saying? Like I said the other day, that feeling y'all get when y'all get that bottle and y'all just topped off, or you hit that bud and you maxed out, or during sex when you hit that highest point and an explosion takes place. People that walk in that light feel that 24 hours a day. Like I'm actually high right now. It's bliss. Not saying that my days or weeks or months don't have ups and downs. I'm not saying I'm not human. But even during the ups and downs, even when at my bottom, I'm still walking through the coca fields. You know what I'm saying? And I'm understanding now, man. I'm like, and I'm not talking about a heaven and a hell. When I say don't let your religion keep you from God, I'm not talking about a heaven or hell, because that's a whole other conversation that I believe I've had once or twice. I'm saying don't let your religion keep you from living this experience of life as it should be. From a fulfilling place, from a place of understanding. But it takes this. It takes you being accountable. And I'm understanding now that a lot of people, it's not that they don't want to see God. It's not that they don't want to walk the fields with Pablo. They don't want to be accountable. Accountability is a motherfucker, man. Accountability for somebody to say, you know what? Yeah, I did a certain thing. I was wrong. I apologize. I didn't know that was that hard. I didn't know that was such a major thing to overcome. I didn't understand. I didn't know that. There's something inside of some people, man, that they can all the evidence can be there, all the things they can know they did wrong and say, you know what? Nah, I'm still gonna point the finger over here. I'm still gonna fall up under this umbrella of protection, because of accountability is what's keeping people from God. And all I'm saying is, a lot of times, brothers, a lot of times, sisters, that accountability or that lack of accountability is why you want to hide up under religion. It's why you want to hide up under religion. And all I'm saying, man, is this. All I'm saying is this, man. Have the balls, have the gonads, have the gall, have the courage to admit that, you know what, man, like I haven't always lived right. You know what I'm saying? I haven't always moved right. Have the courage to say, you know what, man, I've made some bad decisions. That's really all it comes down to. Have the courage, like just be open and say, you know what, I've done some foul things in my life. And like I said a few videos ago, man, a lot of times why people don't want to come up under that umbrella is because the things they've done are super foul. Super foul. Like a lot of men you know, bro. A lot of men you know are the same men that are, and I want to say this the right way. Because of YouTube and everything else. A lot of men you know personally are the same men that women are talking about when they say, hey, yeah, when I was young, I was violated in this kind of way. The men you rub elbows with are the men that were doing it. You know what I'm saying? And they want to hide from that. A lot of women you know that thump that Bible and say, oh, I can't believe women do that. A lot of women that get on camera, get on YouTube, get on social media and thump that Bible saying, oh, well, we're clutching pearls. Women do that? On everything I motherfucking know. Are the same women? Oh, you want to hit this? You can have it. What's your name? Oh, you want to hit this? You can have this. Oh, what's your name? On God. On God. So religion has just served as an umbrella for people to say, not everybody. Like some people use it as a conduit to get to God. But some people just say, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to park here for a little bit. Like as long as I'm here, nobody will see me. As long as I'm here, as long as I thump that Bible, I'm good. Like nobody knows I'm really for the streets. Nobody knows I look at youngsters a certain way and I got cravings. Nobody knows that. As long as I can walk down that aisle and put my 10% in, I'm freaking good. And all I'm saying is, don't let that umbrella keep you from plugging in to Pablo, brothers.